People say, would you like to get in politics? Hell no, it's such a... I mean, I just got out of a gang. Why would I want to get into another gang?
You're in politics, what do you want to be?
You know what I'm saying? But why would I want to get into that gang, the real gangsters? You know what I'm saying? So I got my own political platform. It's called Non-Political Politics. Yo, shut up. This is Ice-T from Body Count. Right now, you're watching the #1 show in the world. Don't touch that dial. You know, I feel like reading right through that. Who's that? Do I know you? What's up? Yo, what's up? This is Ice-T coming from the Oval Office. President is dead. No. Put me in prison for that. Ready, America? Look at what these guys are singing about. Oh, America's as ignorant as the masses are. Said, "Oh, this is so terrible," and totally forgot about what the cops were actually doing. So they used me, and they got over it. They managed to make America forget about the killing that they were actually doing. And you know, and then everybody worried about a record that has absolutely no death toll. You know, it's like nobody ever got hurt behind this record. You know, I said, don't worry about my record. Let's check their record. You know, there's a lot of crying mamas out there. You know, so you know it was definitely a very tactful move they made. It was slick, and they pulled it off.
I was concerned for you. I was concerned for your health, your welfare through that, and what kind of toll did that take?
None. It doesn't bother me at all because number one, all my fans, the loyal fans, became even more loyal. It was like, as far as dealing with people on the streets, I became a hero. I couldn't walk into a mall. I can't walk in, still to that, I can't go into an airport. This mob with people, all different nationalities. It's like, yeah, you bucked the system. You went up against the man, you know, and you held your ground. So all it did was make the people who like me, love me, the people who hate me, despise me, you know. And that's cool, because you're never going to make everybody love you. As far as a cop taking a shot at me, they're too much of cowards to do anything like that. They're not going to do that. What they would do is they would create enough anger in their side that somebody that's down with them will try to walk up on me and cause some stuff. And I was never afraid of anybody hurting me. I was afraid of somebody stepping to me, talking crazy, and I'd have to kill them. And then me going to jail for murder for killing them. So, but I, to be totally honest, I've been running to one negative person. You know, the people who don't like me just give me that look. You know, but mostly I got a lot of love from a lot of people, So, no fear whatsoever. It's just like anything else. They pick up a rock and they drop it on their foot. They pull $120 million out of Warner Brothers. Chrysler still is doing it. They pulled $53 million out, you know, last week. You know, and the thing of it is these people are making these power moves. The conservatives are moving on this company that really has nothing to do. This company is down with free speech from the beginning. They got Madonna, they got Slayer, they got Pantera, they got Prince. And they're using this company as a whipping post for being the platform of free speech, which is Warner Brothers. And it's really unfortunate, you know, but people won't move back on them. Okay, they boycott Chrysler. I mean, Chrysler boycotts Warner. Why don't we boycott Chrysler? You see? But people won't do that. People just say, it's about Ice, it's not about me. And Warner's catching it real tough. I felt that all the people who really wanted the record already had it. I felt that now the people that were buying it were curious George assholes just buying the record to find something wrong with it. And the cops said it was about money. I said, well, it ain't about money. I'll pull the record and I'll get a record away free. Plus, I didn't want my group to be known for this one song. I mean, I think the group is decent, and it's a very good way for you to end the group by turn around and the group sells some records and everybody says, well, it's because of that cop killer. They're now with the group, and that's why they got over. So it's a way of me saying, come on, you're detracting from what this group is about. This group is not a one-song group. This is a decent group. Also, it was a way of letting me let people know what censorship really looks like. It's gone. You can't get it. Oh, no, you can get it. No, you can't. That's how it's going to be, Wake up. I was just saying in the other room, maybe I just start dropping records and only leave them out for 4 months and then pull. Just, that's how it is. Either you like it or you don't. I'm not going to give you a chance to get onto it because of media hype or some stuff. But we didn't want it. The cops used us to get a lot of publicity, And the record company and people in the music business, being the wimps they are, didn't come and rally behind that record because it wasn't them, and they'll pay for it later on down the line. I got a lot of animosity about a lot of the rock and roll and rap people because everybody nobody really came to bat. Everybody's like, Iceland will handle it.
When I went back in, when all the shit started flying around, I went back and looked at my original interview with you. Can you get a door shut, please? And it predated, the Rockman King trial by months and months and months. I find it really interesting that you spelled it out in the interview exactly what the state of the nation was in Los Angeles in terms of what was going on in South Central LA, the mood of everybody in the city, and it just came to pass. I mean, it was no fucking surprise. If anybody had seen the interview first, it was like you'd scripted it.
Well, if you're involved in something, you definitely can tell people how it is. If right now we are talking about doing something, you can walk out of this room and tell people, hey, this is what they're saying. I talk to my homeboys in the hood all the time. I don't live there no more, but I deal with them every day. And they're telling me, they're saying, yo, man, Ice, if these cops don't start whooping on us, we're going to have to start killing these pigs, man. The only way we're going to get some respect, And so I'm like, yo, be careful. And I tell people, I'm like, yo, motherfuckers is tired of this, and they're going to riot. And let me tell you, the riot that just went down ain't shit. It's finna go down again. All they need is one more blatant slap in the face to the justice system. And putting them cops away ain't shit. That's past tense. Now that it's gonna be something else, and this time they're not gonna throw a tantrum. That last riot was a tantrum. They burn up their own neighborhoods. And they're not going to come get white people. That's what the press wants you to believe. Oh, they're going to come get the white people. No, they're going to move on power sources. There are going to be some police stations. There are going to be some real things that's going to go down. And a lot of people are going to get hurt. And the fucked up thing is it's not going to be just black people moving. It's going to be, it's revolutionary time right now. When you can sit up and look at an election and say, I don't like Perot, I don't like Bush, I don't like Clinton. You're in a mode where you're saying, what the fuck's up, And when you got a bunch of people in that state, just touching the wrong way, they're going to lash out. They're going to lash out. I mean, during the riots, I was in West Hollywood. The gay people were out bashing windows in and stuff. It wasn't just black people. I mean, contrary to what you saw, a lot of people were mad. The media likes to portray things in certain ways to keep everything in.
There's a lot to be mad about. I mean, how come really the interset is the police brutality, totally vigilante fucking cops? How come none of this is an election issue?
No, the election issue is let's get mad at this kid who makes a record, and if you're on this side of the fence, then if they use my picture at the Democratic convention, they made Clinton give back $500,000 in campaign contributions from Time Warner because they said it was blood money. They're on some whole different stuff, I mean, when I grew up listening to Talking Head, Psycho Killer, and listening to Suicide, I Shot Reagan, and all this stuff, I mean, to pull me out of the hat and make me an issue, it was definitely a political move. It's cool. It was cool. The best thing about it was getting to hear Bush say my name, mad. Like I said, how many people will ever have the president say their name, and even better, in anger? I still got shit. I cannot. So that was it. You know, I reached it. I touched it, motherfucker.
So let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get away from that. Are you writing? You and the guys writing new material for the next
The new album's called Born Dead, and I just finished my album, Home Invasion. You know, so, but I don't know if it's going to come out. I don't know whether Warner's going to want to drop it and jump back in that snake pit. I don't know. I wouldn't blame them if they didn't, you know. I don't know what's going to happen with the music. The stuff is still hard. I can't change how I write. I don't know how to write any other way, you know, but we'll see what happens with these records and what'll happen.
See, I don't think there's any difference. It's the difference in time. I mean, Dylan made a lifetime's career, basically, writing political songs, Masters of War. You know, I mean, you did nothing more except bring it up to date and make it current and very personal. It was like personal.
And be black.
And being black. And being black.
See, they're really afraid of black rage, and the black rage being injected into white kids is the real stuff. It's the final chapter in preparation for the revolution. So when the white kid walks home saying, fuck the police, and says, yo moms, we ain't built no pyramids, and Elizabeth Taylor wasn't Cleopatra, and Mexico would have been a rich country if it wasn't for the Alamo, and what makes John Wayne a hero? He killed Indians. And what makes Orientals the enemy? And why is this, and why is that? And I'm not with you in pops bullshit. When that happens, the homes have been invaded, and that's when they gotta shut it down. They gotta shut this information down. You know, when I come on and they say, well, what about the new police chief? And I said, well, that's the same guy that was in Philadelphia when they burnt down Operation Move. Why they don't tell us about that? You know, so what I do is I do that. We gotta shut this Ice-T down. You know, we can't keep our lives going with this kind of music out here. These guys are telling the truth.
See, one of the things that you said to me when we spoke really stayed with me. You talked about South Central. You said South Central is not a black community; it's a poor community.
Yeah.
If you're white, Hispanic, Chinese, Japanese, and you got $300 a month to spend on rent, that's where you're going to be living.
You got
it's about poverty.
Exactly.
And I, again, through everything that came out, like the Los Angeles riots and in other political issues to do with your record, none of that gets said. And I know you said it to other people. They said it doesn't get used, and I don't understand it.
Because the media's job is on top of everything. The main job of the media is to maintain the status quo. So the job of the media is not to create unrest and not shift the boat too hard. So they're going to always keep everything in check. Anything that's said like that is going to be pushed to the side, because that is like really hardcore stuff, and the only way you get that is in a rap record or a rock record, you know, or in an underground magazine or something like you got going here that's straightforward. But they're not going to put out anything like that. They don't want that to be known. They're going to let me talk positive. They're going to let me talk totally positive, and give a full thing, and then I'm going to say, like one guy that says to me, Spike Lee said he thinks the day his movie comes out, kids should stay out of school. Probably he's telling a joke, you know what I'm saying? That's like me saying, yo, we're going to play on Sunday, so don't go to church, right? That'll be the headline. After all the shit I've said, they'll say Ice-T thinks he's more important than God. You know, they're going to take whatever the worst shit and turn it into what's going to sell the paper. So what I'm saying about trying to make people get along isn't good news. Good news is controversy and ruining people's lives and creating tension and trauma. You know, look at the news tonight. Everything else is a killing, a murder, a rape, a homicide. What happened to the good news? What happened to the girl that got straight A's? What happened to something that doesn't sell papers? People want to hear pain and keep pain alive. You know?
Well, my kid came home the other day from UCLA, and he's at 19, he's a reporter on the Bruin, and I just interviewed Jesse James, who was kind of a hero for a 19-year-old kid, you know, and Jesse ducked all his questions.
Well, that's what politics will do to you. See, to be political, you have to be middle of the road. You got to be like real close to the middle and off to the side, a little bit. so that you can jump back and forth. Whereas somebody like me, I'm right here, you know, and all those people over there can kiss my ass. So Jesse is into politics, and he can't answer the questions the way he would like to. So you almost have to like vote for people on what you really think's inside their brain, because looking for votes and being in politics, you can't talk like I can. You have to be careful. It's kind of